Straight to the top story at this hour. ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. The announcement was made by US President Donald Trump in a live address. The US President revealed that no US personnel were lost in the operation, but a large number of Baghdadi's fighters were killed. Let's cut across live now and listen in to him.
Where's al-Baghdadi? And a couple of weeks ago, they were able to scope him out. You know, these people are very smart. They're not into the use of cell phones anymore. They're very technically brilliant. You know, they use the internet better than almost anybody in the world, perhaps other than Donald Trump. But they use the internet incredibly well. And what they've done with the internet through recruiting and everything, and that's why he died like a dog. He died like a coward. He was whimpering, screaming, and crying. And frankly, I think it's something that should be brought out so that his followers and all of these young kids that want to leave various countries, including the United States, they should see how he died. He didn't die a hero. He died a coward, crying, whimpering, screaming, and bringing 3 kids with him to die, a certain death. And he knew the tunnel had no end. I mean, it was a closed end. They call it a closed end tunnel. Not a good place to be.
So this was going on before you made the announcement that you're...
I've been looking for him for 3 years. I've been looking for him. I started getting some very positive feedback about a month ago. And we had some incredible intelligence officials that did a great job. That's what they should be focused on.
About what time did this operation start yesterday, sir? And have you notified...
Well, this operation started 2 weeks ago in terms of the real operation because we had him scoped. We thought he'd be in a certain location. He was. Things started checking out very well. We were involved on our own team with some brilliant people who I've gotten to know, brilliant people that love our country, highly intelligent people. And we've had it pretty well scoped out for a couple of weeks. But he tends to change immediately. He had a lot of cash. He tends to change like on a dime, where he'll be going to a certain location, all of a sudden he'll go someplace else, and you'll have to cancel. But this was one where we knew he was there, and you can never be 100% sure because you're basing it on technology more than anything else. But we thought he was there, and then we got a confirmation. And when we went in, they were greeted with a lot of firepower, I'll tell you, these guys, they do a job. They are so brave and so good. And so importantly, many of his people were killed, and we'll announce the exact number over the next 24 hours. But many were killed. We lost nobody. Think of that. It's incredible.
And when you told the Russians, you requested...
Our dog was hurt. Actually, the canine was hurt, went into the tunnel, but we lost nobody.
So you requested to the Russians to fly over this area they controlled. What did you tell them?
We spoke to the Russians.
What did you tell them?
We told them we're coming in.
Okay.
And they said, thank you for telling us. They were very good.
But did you tell them why?
No, they did not know why.
Was any other country?
We did tell them, we think you're going to be very happy because, you know, again, they hate ISIS as much as we do. You know what ISIS has done to Russia. So, no, we did not tell. They did not know the mission, but they knew we were going over an area that they had a lot of firepower.
And have you notified the congressional leaders about this, Pelosi?
We've notified some. Others are being notified now as I speak. We were going to notify him last night, but we decided not to do that because Washington leaks like I've never seen before. There's no country in the world that leaks like we do. And Washington is a leaking machine. And I told my people we will not notify them until our great people are out. Not just in, but out. I don't want to have them greeted with firepower like you wouldn't believe. So we were able to get in. It was top secret. It was kept. There were no leaks, no nothing. The only people that knew were the few people that I dealt with. And again, Mark Milley and the Joint Chiefs of Staff were incredible. We had some tremendous backup. Robert O'Brien, Secretary Esper, Secretary Pompeo, Pence, I told you, he was great. This is a very small group of people that knew about this. We had very, very few people. A leak could have caused the death of all of them. Now, they're so good that I think nothing was going to stop them anyway. You want to know the truth. That's how good they were. We had them also surrounded by massive air power, up in the air yesterday, surrounded at very high levels. We were very low. We had tremendous air power.
And you watched all this from the sit room? Who were you with in the sit room when you watched this?
Secretary Esper, a few of the Joint Chiefs, Mark Milley, some generals. We had some very great military people in that room, and we had some great intelligence people. Robert O'Brien. It's really good. Yes.
Was the pullout of the U.S. troops in Syria last month strategically tied in with this raid?
No, the pullout, right, sure, it's a great question, and you're doing a great job, by the way. Your network is fantastic. They're really doing a great job. Please let them know. No, the pullout had nothing to do with this. In fact, we found this out at a similar time. It's a very good question, because we found this out at a similar time. No, we're after these leaders. And we have others in sight, very bad ones, but this was the big one. This is the biggest one, perhaps, that we've ever captured, because this is the one that built ISIS and beyond, and was looking to rebuild it again, very, very strongly looking to build it again. That's why he went to this province. This is why he went to this area. You know, a lot of people I was watching this morning and hearing, and they said, why was he there? People were so surprised. Well, that's where he was trying to rebuild from, because that was the place that made most sense if you're looking to rebuild. Yeah.
You said your tweet last night. At what moment did you decide to send that?
So I said that right after I knew they had landed safely.
When they had returned?
Right. And that was to notify you guys that you have something big this morning, so you wouldn't be out playing golf or tennis
where did they
or otherwise being indisposed.
Where were they safe? Where did they landed?
I'd rather not say. But we landed in a very friendly port in a friendly country.
Give you any pause about your decision to withdraw?
No, I think it's great. Look, we don't want to keep soldiers between Syria and Turkey for the next 200 years. They've been fighting for hundreds of years. We're out. But we are leaving soldiers to secure the oil. Now, we may have to fight for the oil. That's okay. Maybe somebody else wants the oil, in which case they have a hell of a fight. But there's massive amounts of oil, and we're securing it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it stops ISIS, because ISIS got tremendous wealth from that oil. We have taken it. It's secured. Number two, and again, somebody else may claim it, but either we'll negotiate a deal with whoever's claiming it, if we think it's fair, or we will militarily stop them very quickly. We have tremendous power in that part of the world. We have, the airport is right nearby. A very big, very monstrous, very powerful airport, and very expensive airport that was built years ago. We're in that Middle East now for $8 trillion. So we don't want to be keeping Syria and Turkey. They're going to have to make their own decision. The Kurds have worked along incredibly with us, but in all fairness, it was much easier dealing with the Kurds after they went through 3 days of fighting, because that was a brutal 3 days.
That's U.S. President Donald Trump answering question after question on this massive announcement that was just made. The chief of the most dreaded terrorist organization in the world, ISIS, has been declared dead by U.S. President Donald Trump. We have our West Asia Bureau Chief, Daniela Pagani, now joining us live on this broadcast. Daniela, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi has been declared dead a few times before, but this has to be one of the most pronounced, one of the most confident, at least going by President Donald Trump's words.
Well, definitely yes. It's not only President Donald Trump's word since the very early hours of the morning. Multiple sources from multiple areas were pointing all in the direction of him, the person killed, being actually Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. President Donald Trump confirmed it and confirmed that the remains of what was once the body of the most important terrorist leader of at least the last 10 years was positively resulted as belonging to his DNA. So it is sure, 100%, the leader of the Islamic State terror group is now no more. And this is going to create an earthquake in the organization. It might not be the immediate end of this organization, but certainly is the hardest blow that they have taken in the last 2 years, and they have taken very many in the last 2 years. It was a coordinated operation. We have seen President Trump say the top secret operation coordinated very closely with Russia, very closely with Turkey. Clearly Syria was on board, and Donald Trump took time to thank the Syrian Kurds who provided information which turned out to be helpful to capture and kill Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
Daniele Pagani, our West Asia Bureau Chief, joining us live from Amman in Jordan. Daniela, it is the festival of Diwali today, where India celebrates the victory of the good over the evil, and the news has come just today that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, has been killed. And you're telling us that this time around, unlike the previous times, this is 100% confirmed that it is indeed Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. But talk to us in terms of what are the immediate ramifications of this?
The first thing that these killing tells us is that now the organization is leaderless. Not only leaderless, the entire inner circle, almost the entire inner circle of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, his, so to say, lieutenants, are also out of the game. They hold no more power. Half of them are dead, and the remaining ones are hiding with no financial means and no real support to be. It is very important to stress where Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was to understand the desperation of the organization. He was killed 5 kilometers from the Turkish border in the area of Idlib. Idlib is a place where ISIS has absolutely no political and military relevance. The area, if at all, is controlled by one organization, is controlled by a former wing of the Al-Qaeda in Syria, which has been actually fighting several battles against the Islamic State. The place where he was no friendly place for him. This means that he was desperate, and this was the last place where he might try his luck and try to reorganize the Islamic State, but clearly that wasn't going to happen. On the Telegram channels of the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is the organization which was once Al-Qaeda in Syria, the one I was talking about, the leader of the organization said that they also knew that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi reached their territory, and they were also looking for him to kill him. So this helps us to understand how weak now the organization is, leaderless, but not only because one leader, their leader, is dead, but also because the lieutenants, the people who were surrounding him, are also dead. So there is a lack of coordination throughout this organization.
Right. Daniela, I also want to talk about what it means for the major world powers. What does it mean for the U.S.? This is a massive victory. This is a massive victory for Donald Trump. You can see him showing it off unabashedly in that press conference. But talk to us in terms of what it means for Turkey, coming at this stage when the conflict with the Kurds has just come to a close.
It means, the first thing that it means is that Donald Trump, having taken the time to publicly, in front of the eyes of the world, because I believe this press conference was one of the most watched in the world in the last hour for sure, he took time to single out the Kurds and tell that the Kurds actually provided useful information in order to capture Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. A reporter asked him about the role that Turkey played, and the answer Donald Trump had was that Turkey was no problem. There was no information about any Turkish relevance in these operations. So this means that the United States of America notified Turkey about this operation, used partially their airspace, and that Turkey did not actually play a role. So this is once again a way that America has to say that yes, they are pulling out of northern Syria, but the Kurds have been instrumentals in fighting ISIS. And this, under terms of propaganda, under terms of image, is not going to play in favor of Turkey.
Right. Daniela, I also want to ask you some clarifications on the fact that there have been, conflicting claims from various parties vis-a-vis the sharing of intelligence. Kurdish-led SDF has said that the US had been given the info and crucial details by them. Iraqi state media has claimed that it was Iraq which was sharing the intelligence with the US, but today Trump has confirmed just how the Kurds helped them with that crucial information that led to Baghdadi's killing.
Yes, these happened because the Kurds clearly now needed to claim their role in an important operation. They are politically cornered and in a very difficult situation. They did not directly provide information who led to this very operation, but al-Baghdadi was clearly on the move. He didn't just pop up out of the blue in Idlib. He needed to cross at least 1/3 of Syria one way or the other to get there. So it seems that the information the Kurds provided was about some smugglers who actually helped some family members of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi to get out of a certain area in the eastern part of Syria. So that gave to the United States of America the idea that he was actually moving, and there is no better time than the time when a terrorist move to hit him, and this is exactly what happened. Clearly, the Iraqi intelligence provided also an enormous amount of information. This has been going on for a lot. Iraq provided the information confirming that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was not in their country, which was what everyone was expecting, because first of all, he is from Iraq, and Iraq was the place where the Islamic State terror group was strongest throughout its history. So it was a coordinated information sharing. Also, Russia was very much on board. It is not clear yet what role Turkey had in all this story, but it might become clear with the coming hours. There is anyway a press conference which is going to be held in an hour or so by the Commander-in-Chief of the Syrian Democratic Forces, which will highlight and give us more information about their role in this operation.
Our West Asia Bureau Chief Daniela Pagani joining us live from Amman in Jordan with that report. Thank you, Daniela, for being with us. And let's now quickly listen in again to a slices of that huge announcement made by U.S. President Donald Trump.
Brought the world's #1 terrorist leader to justice. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world. The United States has been searching for Baghdadi for many years. Capturing or killing Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. U.S. Special Operations Forces executed a dangerous and daring nighttime raid in northwestern Syria and accomplished their mission in grand style. The U.S. personnel were incredible. I got to watch much of it. No personnel were lost in the operation, while a large number of Baghdadi's fighters and companions were killed with him. He tends to change like on a dime, where he'll be going to a certain location, all of a sudden he'll go someplace else, and you'll have to cancel. But this was one where we knew he was there, and you can never be 100% sure because you're basing it on technology more than anything else. But we thought he was there, and then we got a confirmation. And when we went in, they were greeted with a lot of firepower. I'll tell you, these guys, they do a job. They are so brave and so good. And so importantly, many of his people were killed. And we'll announce the exact number over the next 24 hours. But many were killed. We lost nobody. Think of that. It's incredible. He tends to change like on a dime, where he'll be going to a certain location, all of a sudden he'll go someplace else, and you'll have to cancel. But this was one where we knew he was there, and you can never be 100% sure because you're basing it on technology more than anything else. But we thought he was there, and then we got a confirmation. And when we went in, they were greeted with a lot of firepower, I'll tell you, these guys, they do a job. They are so brave and so good. And so importantly, many of his people were killed. And we'll announce the exact number over the next 24 hours. But many were killed. We lost nobody. Think of that. It's incredible.
Now, this is definitely a major victory for the U.S. and the U.S. President Donald Trump announcing this, bear in mind, with remember, Baghdadi has been a subject of international manhunt for years, but it might be not the complete end of ISIS, a group which is known to regroup. It's a bit odd that Baghdadi chose to remain in the closely watched Syrian province of Idlib